Renzo Gang. Now, man, let me tell you something. SummerSlam, night one and night two. Good God Almighty. Woo! Let me tell you something. SummerSlam was like that. You know what? I'm gonna do a recap of SummerSlam night one and night two, all in this video. So Renzo Gang, all my wrestling fans out there, just enjoy this because the weekend it was a perfect time. My homeboy from school, he hosted a little SummerSlam party, and that was my first time ever going. That's why I was out, and I enjoyed SummerSlam, man. Let's get into this. Forget the intro. Let's get into it. All right, starting off with night one of SummerSlam. I'm going through each match in order from night one to night two, and the things that happened. All right, all right. Night one, SummerSlam kicked off with Jey Uso and Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. I'm going to just tell y'all this. That match was insane. Bronson Reed came out with Roman Reigns' shoes. That man stole Roman Reigns' shoes like he deboed that man's shoes, bruh. Took that man's shoes and walked out there at the entrance with Roman Reigns' shoes. And Roman Reigns got some big feet. For those that don't know, Roman Reigns is a Jordan and Nike person. Just signed a deal with Jordan. So I know Roman was mad. So when the match started, they was going in, blah, 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 scrapping, squabble up. And then in the middle of the match, they knocked out both the Brawns and Jey Uso, every time he always do this, yeet one more time. And Roman was like, let's get it. So Jey Uso, he doing the yeet, he doing his thing, yeet, yeet, yeet. Roman gets pulled out the ring and they getting beat on. And I'm like, Jey Uso, you gonna sit there and let him get beat on, man? Stop yeeting. And bro, let me tell y'all something. That match was crazy. Braun Breaker, I don't care what nobody say. Like him or hate him, Braun Breaker is he's one of the next big stars of this company. I don't care what nobody say. When he breaks off from Seth Rollins, the whole stable with him and Bronson Reed, Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker is going to be a star because number one, he's a Steiner. He's the son of Rick Steiner, the nephew of Scott Steiner. But he acts more like Scott Steiner than Rick Steiner. Bronson Reed got a future too. Don't sleep on Bronson Reed. Jey Uso, man, him and Roman, they had their work cut out for them. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker are the future, especially Braun Breaker. Now, unfortunately, the match, Jey Uso and Roman Reigns, they won the match. I'm gonna just say it. They won the match, bro. They won the match. Like that was a good start off a night one of SummerSlam. I want to keep say WrestleMania. It's weird, saying 2 nights of SummerSlam. It really is weird, yo. Yeah, Jey and Roman, they beat Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. And from it looks like to me, I've been seeing that Braun Breaker might be injured. I'm not sure. I can't really say, so I'm not sure. You know how the internet, the internet be trolling stuff, and then you just never know. If Braun Breaker is, injured, I hope he gets well soon, come back because I want to see you. I want to see you lay people out with that spirit, boy. So yeah, Jey Uso and Roman Reigns, they won that match. Now the next match was the tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship title match. It was Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez representing the Judgment Day as the champions versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. I'm gonna just tell y'all, that match was good too. 2 tag team matches in a row. That was a good tag team match. And it's crazy seeing Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss in a tag team. They used to be like screen time. They was really best friends. This, that, and the third. It was really dope, man. It was really dope just to see those two team up together. Like at one point, those two were the actual two that ran the women's division back in the day. You feel me? But yeah, during the match, Alexa Bliss, she accidentally punched Charlotte Flair in the face, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought Charlotte Flair was gonna do a heel turn and turn on Alexa Bliss because we all know Charlotte Flair does not do well with others. But unfortunately, They are the new women's tag team champions, bruh. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. They are the new women's tag team champions, bruh. Let's get it. Yeah. They beat Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. Oh my God. Liv Morgan is about to have a fit when she come back. She already don't really trust Roxanne Perez. She about to have a fit. You feel me? That's crazy, bro. Like, that's crazy. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair women's tag champions. I never thought I'd see the day. Yeah. Now, the next match. Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. The match was pretty good. I want to say the match could have been a little better, but I still like the match. I like that Karrion Kross is finally getting, what he deserves. Like he's a good competitor. Like he's finally over with the crowd, just like how Sami Zayn was getting over with the crowd. Like Karrion Kross, he's been working his tail off. Like merchandise sales through the roof. Like his promos are better than half the people that are there. Karrion Kross, let that man, shine, bro. And to be honest with you, like a lot of stuff that happened, with a lot of these superstars in these stables, Karrion Kross, is responsible for most, like for Drew's downward spiral. He's the cause of, a little shift, a little rift within the bloodline. He kind of predicted, the bloodline. The Wyatt Six, and they had their little animosity with the Wyatt Six, you know what I'm saying? Karrion Kross deserves so much better. And obviously you can tell that Sami Zayn won the match. Karrion Kross deserves better. And I don't know if he's going to resign with the company. I don't know because his contract is coming up. And if he leaves, then WWE dropped the ball on Karrion Kross. I blame someone else, but we're not gonna get into that. But the next match, the WWE Women's Championship title match, you had Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill, and let me tell you, the match was pretty good. It could have been a little better, and it's like Tiffany can do, she can do what she could do with Jade because first of all, Jade is very tall and very masculine, so there's only so much that Tiffany Stratton could do with Jade Cargill. So they doing what they're working with. So you can't really complain about why this, that, and the third. Jade Cargill is actually getting better as a competitor because when she started on AEW, she wasn't wrestling. But now in WWE, she's actually, learning how to wrestle, and she's doing better. But the match could have been a little better, but I'm not gonna complain because Tiffany Stratton, and Jay, they got what they got, they worked what they worked with. And unfortunately, Tiffany Stratton, she beat Jade Cargill clean. That was Jade Cargill's first official loss within the company. So, that's very impressive. And I mean personally, I would have wanted Jade to win, but at the same time, it would have been way too early for Jade. Like it would have been too early to put that strap, that rocket on Jade right now. It's too early. I understand it, but I kind of wanted her to win because Tiffany Stratton's title reign has been kind of boring. But the reason why I say that is because Tiffany Stratton, she's a natural heel. She's not a face character. She's not a face character at all. So that's why I feel like that her title reign is a little boring. But I'm just gonna say when she turns heel again, it's gonna be crazy. Like Tiffany Stratton, like I got introduced to her in NXT as a heel, so just like Jade Cargill, I'm used to her being a heel when she was over in AEW. But anyway, Tiffany Stratton, she retained the WWE Women's Championship against Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill's first loss. Now the next match, you had Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul versus Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. I'm not gonna lie. As much as I hate to admit this, that match was very, very good and entertaining. Jelly Roll did his thing in that match. Jelly Roll did his thing. That man took a table bump from Logan Paul. I'm not gonna lie to you, Jelly Roll, you got my respect, dog. I know that bank account. I know that bank account. I know that bank account happy. You took that. Yeah. But Jelly Roll, he's got my respect. There's not too many people that can just step into, the world of wrestling and, do what those guys and women can do every single day, putting their bodies on the line every single day. It's just, if it was so easy, everybody could be a wrestler, and that's coming from a Muay Thai person, like a martial art. That's one of the most hardest martial arts to learn, the most brutal, and that takes a lot to. I couldn't even handle being a wrestler, to be honest with you. I that's just me. I'm just a fan. I wouldn't dare step into that ring. Now I'll be behind, some of the superstars. Now, if I was able to work with, wrestlers, I'll be behind, the scenes, helping them train for like a big match, especially if it's a striker like Damian Priest, Shinsuke Nakamura, or Aleister Black. I would help train them in striking because that's that's one of my specialties in Muay Thai is striking. So, but anyway, with that being said, I just rambled all over the place. That match was very entertaining. It was really good. I will say that. But unfortunately, Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre, they won the match. Even though Jelly Roll, he did take that table bump, he still got back in there and he was doing his thing. So Jelly Roll, you forever have my respect. I applaud you. I wish y'all would have got the win though, but it's okay. You still have my respect, Jelly Roll. I respect you. Now, take my shades off for this one. And this is just night one. This is just night one. The main event, Gunther versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. When I tell you Gunther put the pause on CM Punk in that match, good God Almighty. CM Punk did his thing, but CM Punk, you should have listened. Gunther is not no scrub. Gunther is a different ball game. Like, Gunther is like that. He's one of my favorite technician right now. He's one of my favorite technical wrestlers right now, a powerhouse. Gunther is just that good. If he's not the best technician in WWE, he's definitely top two. Not three, top two. I'm sorry. Not too many people can out wrestle Gunther. Unless you add Chad Gable in there. But other than anyway, the match was really, really, really good and brutal. Like CM Punk, yeah, them chops didn't feel good, did it? I actually seen Gunther compete on my first ever WWE show in SmackDown, and I heard them chest slaps. Them chest slaps are no joke. Do you hear me? No joke. Oh, good God. CM Punk, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry you had to go through that, but better you than me. And Gunther got busted open, but we all know Gunther got busted open. CM Punk, CM Punk beat Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, and you can see on CM Punk's face like that man was over flooded with emotions on top of emotions on top of emotions, bro. And unfortunately, Seth Rollins' music hit. He comes out there with the knee brace and the crutches. Then he was like, you know what? Next time. But this man drops the crutches, takes off the knee brace, runs to the ring, and he fooled everybody. Seth Rollins fooled everybody. This man cashes in his Money in the Bank contract, pinned CM Punk 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins now is a two-time World Heavyweight Champion. Oh my God. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm sorry. I didn't want Gunther to lose that title, but judging by night two, and I haven't gotten to night two yet, I kind of understand why he lost, but this is still night one. Oh my Lord. And CM Punk held the title around the same time that Drew McIntyre held the title when Damian Priest cashed in on him, but CM Punk held the title shorter than Drew McIntyre, so Drew McIntyre was trolling him. Night one ended so crazy. I was happy to see Seth Rollins cashing that Money in the Bank contract. I was so happy. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Nothing against CM Punk. I really wanted Gunther to win, but unfortunately, Seth freaking Rollins is now the World Heavyweight Champion. And when he got injured at Saturday Night's Main Event against LA Knight, that was a work. I thought that was real. That was a work. Like you fooled us all, seeing Seth Rollins, Triple H. I got y'all. Yep. And that was his night one. And I'm not even gonna wait to do another video for night two. I'm just getting night two, man, because SummerSlam was crazy. Night two of SummerSlam. I keep want to say WrestleMania. I'm not used to SummerSlam having two nights. Bear with me, y'all. Night two. The star of night two is the Women's World Heavyweight Championship match. You have Naomi as the champion versus Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. And mind you, Io is a beast in triple threat matches. She was like 8-1, if I'm not mistaken. 8-1. Rhea Ripley's never beaten Io Sky. And Naomi cashed in the Money in the Bank contract to become the Women's World Champion. And to be honest with you, Naomi, she deserved it. And not to mention that her entrance, her dad played the guitar, as her entrance, and that was the most coolest thing, man. I liked that. That was cool. I loved it. You can see how happy she was. Now the match, oh my God, the match was insane. Like those women were working. The women be putting in work in the WWE. That's why they have the best women's division in wrestling, period. The women put in work. I'm telling you. The women put in work. And my girl Naomi, she walked out with the dub. She walked out with the dub. She walked out with the dub. She's still the women's world champion. I'm proud of Naomi. She did her thing. Naomi did her thing. Boy, I love you, Io, and I love you, Rhea, but Naomi, she deserves it. She definitely deserves it. Naomi definitely deserves it. She's been through so much. She deserves it. She deserves it. Next, bro, that was the craziest. This next match. This is, mind you, this is a TLC match, and this is what the 25th anniversary, of the TLC match. And they had the Dudley Boys sitting in the crowd, and you have the Hardy Boys. You heard me correctly, the Hardy Boys sitting in the other side, and they watched this TLC match. And I guarantee you, if Edge and Christian were not in AEW, they would have been there too. Now, this match not only was an insane TLC match, this was a 16. This is a 12-man TLC match. You had Andrade and Ray Phoenix, one team, versus DIY, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, versus the Street Profits, versus who else? You had Motor City Machine Guns versus Axiom and Nathan Frazier, aka Fraxium, versus the champions, the Wyatt Six. Bruh, when I tell you that match stole the show of the whole SummerSlam, night one and night two, I ain't gonna lie, that match low key kind of was a little more hype than when Seth cashed in on CM Punk. I'm not gonna lie, that match was insane. And out of all the years that we've been watching wrestling, when have you ever seen 12 people compete in a TLC match? Not to mention you had some of the women getting in there, for God's sakes, Candice LeRae took a bump through a ladder. I thought she, you know. Then you had B-Fab out there. Then you had Nikki Cross out there. That was a crazy match, and Uncle Howdy interfered in the match as well. And those table spots, oh my God, those table spots were insane. When I tell you them table spots were insane, I was like, yo, it was like one table spot, another table spot, another table spot. That was like, I can do this better. I can do this one better. I can do that better. I'm like, dude, y'all are insane. I know the Hardys and the Dudleys are like, we did some crazy stuff, but that's insane. Bruh. That match stole the show night one and night two. I don't care what nobody say. That match stole the show. That was probably the best TLC matches I've seen since the Attitude Era. man. And the YS6, they are still your WWE Tag Team Champions. Yo, crazy. I be crazy, right? That was crazy. Next, you have Becky Lynch, the Women's Intercontinental Champion, versus Lyra Valkyria. And that was a Falls Count Anywhere match. The match was really good. Becky, she made that girl work. She made Lyra Valkyrie work. And I love what Becky Lynch is doing with the IC title, because the IC title, the women's IC title, it needs that star power. And Becky Lynch is that star. Nothing against Lyra Valkyrie. She was like that in NXT, but it's like the main roster, a whole lot of people don't watch NXT. That's why a whole lot of people, when they see these call-ups, they don't know any of them. And it makes me mad as a wrestling fan. It's like, bro, y'all just, that's all y'all watch is Raw and SmackDown. It's more than just Raw and SmackDown WWE. Watch NXT, watch Evolve. Even though I don't watch Evolve, watch TNA. Watch product in AEW, GLW. If I said no MLW. My bad. GCW, all of that. Watch all of that. But Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria, them girls, they put in work in that match. And then Becky was about to hit Lyra Valkyria with a crowbar because she was defenseless until Bayley came out and snatched the crowbar. And Bayley, she's still mad about Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, robbed her of her WrestleMania moment. So Bayley was like, "You took everything from me," blah, 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 blah. And then she tried to attack Becky again. Becky dodged. And, Bayley, of course, being Bayley been going through it. I'm sorry. She's been going through it. And Lyra Valkyria, she got back in the match. She was doing her thing, it was getting on Becky. And then Bayley was going for Becky with the chain wrapped around her hand, punched but missed and hit Lyra Valkyria. So Lyra Valkyria, she can never challenge for that championship while Becky Lynch is the champion. And it might be a while because Becky don't drop no belts like that. So it's gonna be a while. But yeah, Becky Lynch, she's now still the reigning defending women's intercontinental champion. Now the next match. The next match. Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship in a steel cage match. I'm gonna just say the boys, they did their thing. Solo and Jacob, they did their thing. And I missed a little bit of the match. I was a little upset about that. I missed a little bit of the match, but Solo Sikoa, he did beat Jacob Fatu for the championship with the help of Tala Tonga. Because the MFTs, JC Mateo and Tonga Loa, they interfered, but Tala Tonga is the reason that Solo won the match. And then after the match, Jacob Fatu got his little revenge on the MFTs. So Jacob Fatu, he got his revenge. Now, personally, I'm glad that Jacob Fatu didn't get the title again, because now it's time for him to go for the main titles. Now, personally, that's just my opinion, because Jacob Fatu is a star. Like, best pure athlete of the Anoa'i Fatu family, Jacob Fatu is the best pure athlete of that family. I don't care what nobody say. I'm just saying. Now, the next match. Dirty Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles for the Intercontinental Championship. And it's crazy because years before that, it was the it was the ladder match for the custody of Dominic Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, and Rey Mysterio, and we all remember that match. And it's crazy because AJ Styles came out paying tribute to Eddie Guerrero in the lowrider and the tights. I was like, yo, AJ putting in work. And unfortunately, this is AJ Styles' final SummerSlam. So this, and I was so happy to see AJ Styles. I was very happy to see AJ Styles in February. I was so happy to see AJ Styles. Definitely one of my favorites. He definitely go down as one of the best wrestlers of all time. In my opinion, he's the phenomenal one. What you expect? And that match was really good. And the crazy thing is, he had his son come out. We know with the blonde hair, like how Dominic Mysterio used to look, when he was young. Eddie, yeah, that was insane. And even though AJ didn't win, it was still a good match. And they try to pull the live, the little famous chair shot. Eddie would take the chair and hit the ground, and then throw it at his opponent and fall down. And then Dominic did it to AJ, but then AJ was like, "Nah, you ain't about to get me." And then he wrapped the chair around him. And then the referee was looking like, "What happened? What happened? What happened? I don't know what happened, so I can't see. I can't disqualify nobody." And that was so funny. I was like, "Yo, that was insane. That was crazy." But unfortunately, AJ Styles, he didn't win. He didn't beat Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Dirty Dominic Mysterio, he deserves it though. Dominic Mysterio has been putting in work. I don't care what nobody say. He may be Mysterio's kid, but Mysterio's kid, Dominic Mysterio has put in work. He's actually worked Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. He was their two-time NXT North American champion. Dirty Dominic Mysterio, he paid his dues. He deserves it. Now, the final match of SummerSlam, the WWE Undisputed Championship, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. And the crazy thing is, not only is it a street fight, but John Cena's back to being a face. I gotta drink my Dr. Pepper on this one. The match was so good. This is the John Cena that I missed. Like, he kind of gave us a little the old school Dr. Thugonomics, brawler type in this match. Because we all know Cena's not a technique. We know John Cena cannot wrestle. He's a brawler. What do y'all think? He's a brawler, not a technician. He's a brawler. John Cena thrives in matches like Extreme Rules matches, Last Man Standing, especially the I Quit matches. John Cena was the king of I Quit matches. Like, that man has never lost an I Quit match. And the crazy thing is, him and Cody put in so much work in that match. And I don't know how many times those two kicked out of each other moves. Good God. And then the fact that when they were fighting all over the ring, because it was a street fight match. And the fact that John Cena really had this man on his shoulders. Cody's entrance when he comes out the ground and like certain PLEs, he did that. He had that man. I'm like, yo, that was a crazy spot. And it was so much going on in this match. It was insane. Cody Rhodes beat John Cena. So therefore, we did see last night John Cena pass the torch to Cody Rhodes. How The Rock passed the torch to, excuse me, how The Rock passed the torch to John Cena. How the torch was passed from Hogan to The Rock. So yeah, that was crazy. See Cena pass the torch to Cody, and then he had his little moment. Cody, he, my champ, walked out, and then everybody was like, "Thank you, Cena. Thank you, Cena." Cena was having this little moment, and good God, the music dropped. The ladies and gentlemen, Brock Lesnar returned last night and took out John Cena. Did you hear me? I was like, yo, Brock Lesnar's back. So that means his charges must be dropped. So Brock must be innocent. So if that's the case, oh my God. And unfortunately, John Cena wants to work with Brock Lesnar because of his retirement tour. Oh God, John Cena, why would you want to work with Brock? You know what Brock Lesnar does to you every time y'all step in the ring together. Why would you do this to yourself at your retirement tour? Why, John? Why? Brock Lesnar gonna destroy him. But remember what I told y'all. Gunther, Gunther, we might finally get Gunther and Brock Lesnar. That's a dream match of mine. We actually supposed to have gotten that at last year's Mania. It didn't happen. We might just get that next. Oh, Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. I cannot wait to see that. Oh. SummerSlam. Probably the best WWE PLE this year, hands down. SummerSlam, Triple H did his thing because he did say that night one, you ain't seen nothing. Drewski even said it. You ain't seen nothing till you get to night two. By God Almighty, you got Seth freaking Rollins cashing the Money Bank contract, beat CM Punk, and Brock Lesnar coming back. Not to mention that wild TLC match. And every time Brock Lesnar returns, and this literally happens like, and the crazy thing is, this is 10 years later when Seth Rollins cashed in on Roman Reigns for the heist of the century at WrestleMania 31. Heist of the century versus heist of the summer. Ooh, 10 years later. And then Brock Lesnar, he returns again and it goes for John Cena. I'm like, John Cena, please get out the ring. Good God, please just go. But yeah, John and Brock, one more time. I don't, even though I don't want to see that, there's an opponent I would love for John Cena to face one more time. One of his greatest rivals. He already done faced CM Punk and Randy Orton already. And I think he may go for AJ Styles, but I'm not talking about AJ Styles. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Adam Copeland, I need you to sign some type of deal where you come over and face John Cena one last time. Because that's a match, that's one of John Cena's greatest rivals. That rivalry is so slept on. I don't know why they don't acknowledge that rivalry between John Cena and Edge. I don't know why they don't acknowledge it. But we're not gonna get it. I really don't want to see Brock and Cena again because that's just a massacre. But now that Brock is back, we have a lot of potential, people that can face Brock. Gunther, Jacob Fatu, possibly Damian Priest. Hey, WWE is low key is on fire right now. So that being said, Renzo Gang, post some comments down below. Let me know what you thought. If you enjoyed this little recap of SummerSlam, night one and night two, hit that like button, share, and subscribe. You feel me? I love y'all, Renzo Gang. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here with me, supporting me. I appreciate that. Peace. Yeah.